Hello, good morning, my dear third grade students. Welcome back to our class. Children, as we finished our lesson number 3 explanation, now it's time to step forward to fourth lesson, to move fourth lesson, isn't it, children? So, today I'm going to start our next lesson, fourth lesson. Before going to the lesson, I will ask you some warm up questions, as I asked in third and second lesson, isn't it? So, before going to the topic, I will ask some warm up questions. So, my first warm up question is, what are the living things which can fly? What are the living things which can fly? Children, which living thing can fly? In first lesson, I explained number of living things, isn't it? So, which living thing is which we can fly? Yes, birds. Birds are the living things and which will fly. Next, my second question is, how do birds fly? How they will fly? How these birds will fly? Yes, with the help of the wings. In the first lesson only we learned that birds will move with the help of wings. Human beings will move with the help of their legs. In the same way, birds will move with the help of their wings. So, birds will have a wings to fly. Next, third question is, name some birds which we can find on trees or in water or on land. Name some birds that we can find on trees or in water or on land. Which birds we can find on trees, children, in our surroundings? Which birds? Yes, crow, parrots, pigeons, isn't it? These birds we can find on trees. Next, in water, children, in water which birds we can find? Duck, swan. And in land, on land which birds we can find? Peacock and ostrich, these birds. So, we can find the birds on trees, in water or at land also. So, children, what is our lesson name? Fourth lesson, birds, feeding and movement. What is the lesson name? Birds, feeding and movement. In the third lesson, we learn how animals will feed and how they will move. In the fourth lesson, we are going to learn how they will feed, how they will eat and how they will move. So, we learn how the birds will eat and how they will move in this lesson. So, let's start our lesson. Lesson name is birds, feeding and movement. So, children, birds are the living things. They can also fly with the help of their wings. Birds are the animals with having their body with feathers, covered with feathers. Birds are the animals, they are having their full body is covered with the feathers. And what they will have, children? Birds will have feathers, wings, isn't it? And is it they have a nose like us? No, what they will have? Beak, isn't it? They will have beak, B-E-A-K, beak. And next they will have feet, like how we are having a legs, isn't it? Like that they will have feet. And some birds will have claws, isn't it? So birds will have wings, beak and feet, feathers, isn't it? So birds are the animals, their body is covered with the feathers. Today I want to explain the different types of beaks which are present in which are there in the birds. So we see many birds, isn't it, children? Look at the picture of the many birds. Here many birds are there. We can find the birds, many birds. Each bird is different from another, isn't it? Some are small, some are big, sizes is different, shapes is different. Did you observe, children, this bird's picture? Children, today I will explain different types of beaks. So these different types of beaks will depend on their eating habits. So in the last lesson, we learned how animals will eat. Some will tear the flesh, some will chew the food, some will suck, some will swallow, isn't it? Like that, in the birds also, in the same way, birds also will eat. Some birds will eat grains, fruits, nuts, isn't it? But some birds will eat flesh, isn't it? Like crow, vulture. If you see the parrot, what it will eat, children? Fruits, nuts. If you see the vulture, eagle, what it will eat? Flesh of other animals, isn't it? So like that, birds also will have different eating habits. But birds will use their beaks to eat. So this type of beaks also different. Some birds will have different types of beaks. By using these beaks, they will eat. So some will have long, some will have short, some will have chisel shape, and some will very broad, flat shape. So today we will learn the types of beaks. Children, some birds will have strong and sharp hooked beak. They will have a strong and sharp hooked beak. Like birds have, like vulture, owl, eagle, hawk. These birds will have these type of beaks. By these beaks, what they will eat? They will eat the flesh of other animals. Actually, these animals eat flesh, isn't it? Omnivore birds. These are the omnivorous birds. They will eat the flesh of other animals or birds, like this eagle, vulture, owl. So observe this picture of eagle and owl, children. Observe the beak, how it is there. It is very strong and sharp, and it is, the shape is hooked like, isn't it? Hooked like shape it is. So by this beak, what it will do? It will eat the birds and animals for their prey, isn't it, children? They will eat their food. So observe this type of beak, how it is there. Next, children, woodpeckers. Woodpecker is also a bird. So this woodpecker will have a sharp and strong and chisel shaped beak. It will have strong and sharp as well as chisel shaped beak. So by this beak, what it will do? It will make a hole to the large tree trunk. It will make hole to the large tree trunk, and it will eat the insects, small insects and worms which are there in the tree trunks. First, it will make a hole to the tree trunk. So their strong beak will help us to make a hole. Observe this beak of the woodpecker. Next, peacocks, children. Like birds like peacocks, sparrows, pigeons, what it will do? It will also will eat grains, fruits, nuts. But how their beak will be? It will also have a strong and sharp, but it will have very short beak, children. Observe the peacock beak, short beak. So this beak will help us them to cut the seeds, crush the seeds, or crackle them. Means making, by using their beak, they will crackle it, isn't it? So what will happen? The fruit or nuts will be broken into small pieces. It will crackle it on them. Then it will become into small pieces. Then it will eat. So these beaks will help us birds to eat. Next, hoopie. Hoopie is also a bird. It will have a long pointed beak. How butterflies will have, isn't it, children? They will suck, isn't it? So like that, this hoopie bird will have a long and slender beak. So by this, with the help of this beak, it will make holes. It will make holes from the insects in the ground. It will pick up the insects from the ground. It will take the insects from the ground and it will eat. Next, children, hummingbird. So children, hummingbird, so it will always making sound. So that's why it is called as a hummingbird. So these hummingbirds and sunbirds, they will have a long pointed beak like a straw. We will use straws to sip the juices, isn't it, children? From juice bottles or from coconuts, isn't it? We will drink coconut water from the coconuts. We can use the straws. In the same way, this hummingbird and sunbirds will have a long sharp beak. By this beak, what it will do, children? It will suck the nectar from the flowers. How butterflies will suck? With their long pointed mouth parts, isn't it? In the same way, these hummingbird will have a long pointed beak so that it can suck the sweet juice, that is nectar, which will present in the flowers. So these birds we can find on the plants, isn't it? Where they will always sit on the plants and they will drink the nectar of the flowers. So how the beak will be? Long pointed like as a straw. Next, broad and flat beak. These type of beaks we can find in the duck. So these ducks will live in where they will live in, children? Where they live, this bird type of birds like duck and swan, they live in water, isn't it? So these ducks, when they live in water, observe this beak of the duck. They have two holes, isn't it? They have two holes on their beak. So these ducks, when they live in this muddy water, they will eat small worms, insects, water plants. They will eat which are there inside the water. So When they drink this water, the muddy water will come out from their nose, 2 holes. On their beak they have 2 holes, isn't it children? Did you observe 2 holes on their beak? So the muddy water will come out from these 2 holes, and the small insects, worms which are there in the water, it will be sticked in the beak, and then they will eat. Means water will come out, and the insects, worms and water plants, whatever they eat, that will be there in their beak and they will eat. So these holes will help us to drain the muddy water. So it is these birds will have broad and flat beak. How it is there children? Broad and flat beak. Next children, some birds will have short and broad beak. Some birds will have short and broad beak, like a swallow bird. So these birds will fly in the air with its beak open. What it will do? It will fly in the air with its beak open. And these birds will eat flying insects like housefly, isn't it? Housefly will fly. So these birds, what it will do? It will open their beak and it will fly. Which bird it is? Swallow bird. And they have a very sticky substance in their beak, very sticky substance. It can stick, isn't it? So when it was flying in the air with its beak open, it will catch the flying insects which are present in the air. It will catch the flying insects which are present in the air, having a sticky substance in their mouth, and they will eat the small flying insects. Next, hooked and curved beak. Curve means like this, isn't it? Like we have a shape of the C, curve, isn't it? So some birds will have hooked shape like this, hooked shape or curved, isn't it? So these type of beaks we can find in the parrots, isn't it children? Did you see any time parrot? Okay, observe this parrot picture here. How is the shape of the beak? It is curved shape, isn't it? So these shape will help these parrots to crackle them or break them into small pieces. Suppose if it is eating any nuts or fruits, it will crackle it. It will break into small pieces and then it will eat. It is having a strong, but the beak is very strong, but it is curved shape. So by this crackle, what it will do? It will tap on the seeds. So it will break and become into small pieces, and then it will eat. So today we learn how the birds will eat, how they will feed. How they will eat children? With the help of their beaks. But all the birds will have same types of beaks? No. Different birds will have different types of beaks. Like hummingbird will have a straw like a long pointed, isn't it, beak. But parrot is having a curved shape. And this eagle and vulture will have a sharp and very strong beak, isn't it, hooked like beak. So different types of beaks will help us, all these beaks will help us the birds to eat, to feed, isn't it? So today I will learn how the birds will feed with the help of their beaks. In the next class, I will explain about their feet and claws. Okay children? So I hope did you understand this concept. Children, read the lesson what I explained today. I explained about the different types of beaks. So read the lesson. Okay children? Now it's a question time. I will ask you some questions. So the following questions. First one, name any 5 birds. Second, how do birds fly? Third one, why do birds have different types of beaks? See this picture and you have to write the body parts of the bird. So here they have a missing letters of the body parts of the bird. So you have to write the body parts of the birds in your textbook. Next children, today onwards you have to do whatever you are writing answers, you have to write in a classwork, not in rough book. So children, in a classwork, we are writing in notes from the starting onwards, first lesson, second lesson, isn't it? So these tasks, daily tasks, you have to do at last pages children, last pages of your classwork book, means back of your classwork. Mention the date of the day and then write the daily task. Is it clear children where you have to write? At the back of the classwork. Write neatly, take a pic and then send to my personal window. Thank you children.